Hi there, it's Tim, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison shootout, if you like. I'm going to be trying out the Kaabo, I'm going to be trying out the Dualtron, and I'm going to be trying out a Zero. All three of those. Now, what I'm going to share with you is that this is going to be a big guy riding around on a scooter, basically going through the city, experiencing some hills. I'm going to do the same route for each of these scooters, and I'm going to come back to you and share with you what my thoughts are on each scooter after each ride. And at the very end, I'm going to do a quick sort of conclusion. What do I think of the scooters? What do I think they're best, or who they're best for? Which one had, the best braking, the best acceleration, the larger battery, the best ride, etc. So come with me if this sounds of interest to you. And if you like these types of videos, make sure you hit subscribe. And very special thank you to Ride the Glide for lending me the scooters today for the ride. And yeah, come with me, check it out. Let me know what you think down below. Alrighty, so right out of the gates, we've got the Wolf Warrior 2. It's big, it's heavy, it's about 100 pounds. They say a maximum weight of about 330 pounds of maximum weight. Top speed of about 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles an hour. It does have a 60 volt output, so that's going to be really nice and quick. It's 35 amp hour battery inside. And with that battery configuration, it looks like it'll do about 65 to 80 kilometers. And it's dual 1200 watts, so it's really quick. So I'm going to take it now on the route that I'm going to do for all three of them. And one of the first things we're going to be doing is a really steep hill. So we're going to see how it masters this really steep hill getting out of the parking lot from the bay here up onto the city. Wow, that was extremely comfortable. Very, very quick. It ate that little hill up, no problem. The brakes are extremely powerful and strong. A couple of times when you're riding around in the city, especially, it's so comforting to having powerful brakes. So the Kaabo was able to slow right down to a complete stop very, very quickly. Acceleration's very, very peppy. I mean, you have to brace yourself. Let me just show you. Having the ability to be able to rest my foot back here is fantastic. There's plenty of foot room on here, and yeah, it felt really, really sturdy. So now I actually have done a thorough review of the Kaabo before, so if you are interested in that, I'm going to put that up in the show notes up here for you to review that video. But I'm going to return this now and pick up probably the 011X next, and take that on the same route and share with you my thoughts on that. And as I said at the very end, I'm going to go wrap up all three videos, or all three experiences, and share with you which scooter I like and for what task. Alrighty, so here we are now, scooter number 2, and this is going to be the 011X. It's 1600 watts times 2, so that's 3200 watts. That's a lot of power coming out of those two motors. 72 volts, so it's going to be very, very quick, I think. Very, 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 very quick. I think it's going to be off the line. 32 amp hour battery, and it's got Zoom hydraulic brakes at the front and the back. Just gonna do a nice tight shot of that so you can see. And apparently it will do 95 kilometers an hour, which is insane for a scooter, I think. I won't be doing that. I will be doing like little bursts of acceleration off the line just to see what it feels like. But the actual The actual way that I ride is about 35 kilometers an hour. So anyway, I'm gonna go do the exact same route I just did with the previous scooter, and come with me, check it out, and I'll give you, as I said, I'll give you all my thoughts at the end of all 3 rides. Apparently this thing will also go 100 kilometers on a single charge. So I almost said a single tank. Single charge. Anyway, next stop on the route. Alrighty, so as I mentioned before, 1600 watts, 72 volts, big battery. That 011X moves like it's pretty amazing. The Kaabo is fast, but this thing's next level in the acceleration. The big tires are actually here. Let me show you. The big tires and suspension on this make this perfect if you're interested in doing off-roading, a little bit of back trails, that kind of thing, hitting some dirt, doing some jumps off curbs, that kind of thing. Then this thing is a beast for that. And yeah, so far so good. I'll take this back now to ride the Glide and go and find out what the Dualtron at a similar price point will do. Alrighty, so here I are with the third and final scooter for comparison today. This is the Dualtron Thunder, and I actually did a review of this just very recently, actually. So go ahead and I'll link to that video right here. But just to recap, it does have a 60 volt motor, so 60 volts of output. It's got a 35 amp hour battery, so lots of juice stored up in there, and it looks like it's about maximum of 5400 watts, so that's what Dualtron advertises at. And it does down here, it has the nut 160 millimeter hydraulic brakes, so all 3 of these have hydraulic brakes. This one will do about 100 kilometers, they say, so it's pretty amazing. 100 kilometers on a single tank of gas, as it were. But yeah, no, that's that 35 amp hour battery, so lots of juice in the tank, as it were. And apparently it will do 50 miles an hour. And in my review, I've got to say that was when I did the full length review, I would concur that 50 miles an hour or 80 kilometers an hour is something that this would have no problems achieving. So it also has tubeless pneumatic tires. In fact, they all do, except, sorry, the Dualtron and the Kaabo both have the tubeless pneumatic tires, but the 011X does have an inner tube. Anyway, let me take this one up. I'll go do the exact same route that I did the last time, and come back and share with you my thoughts. Immediately, the one thing I do notice is that the actual stem itself is a little bit shorter. So if you're a taller guy, if you're like I'm only 6 feet tall, but if you're taller, then right off the bat, I think this is a little bit too low. But yeah, anyway, so far so good. The 011X and the Kaabo were both, I felt, a lot higher up, and it felt a little bit more comfortable for my height. Alrighty, here we go. Alrighty, so the Duotron, I like the Dualtron a lot actually. Even though the handlebar height is quite a bit lower, it may only be like 3 or 4 inches difference, but it does make it feel a little bit less sturdy. Other than that, I thought the ride was really good. Lots of power, plenty of power, far more than I would ever use. Braking system with the 160 millimeter discs, their nut hydraulics, they're really good too. Really strong and powerful for bringing this big guy down to a stop. What else do I want to say about this? I like the lighting. The lighting is really cool, has a really cool effect. But and I like the here. Let me just show you. Everything's in the right position. Really nice quality handlebars. The ability here to go switch between dual and single motor, and then the I or EY3, depending on how you learn how to say it, is really nice and clear. This is bright sunshine and it's super clear. All three of them actually, the displays were extremely clear. I think, you know what? I like this one. I gotta say, this is more nimble than the Kaabo and the 011X. That's the biggest takeaway, I guess, I get. This one I feel like I can walk around, go down paths that I perhaps normally wouldn't. But the other two, the Kaabo and the 11X would be one of those two would be my choice for doing off-roading. So you know what? I'm really thrilled with this machine. This is for somebody who needs to do quite a bit of commuting. I think that's possibly who this is for. So I'm going to ride back to Ride the Glide now and drop off this beautiful Dualtron. And what I'll do is I'll take my little 909 and I'll go over to one of the marinas over there, and I will and I'll give you my thoughts on which one of the three or who these particular scooters are designed for. So see you in a minute. Alrighty, well, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Ride the Glide, for lending me those 3 scooters. That was fantastic. All 3 of those scooters, the Dualtron Thunder, the Kaabo, and the 011X, they're all 3 fabulous scooters. And at that price point, you really can't go wrong. They really are amazing scooters. If I was going to be doing any kind of off-roading, I would probably lean towards the Kaabo and the 011X. If I were looking at something that was a little bit more on the street all the time, then I would probably lean more towards the Dualtron. The suspension, all 3 is excellent. The best suspension by far was the 11X. That suspension just going up and down was fantastic. Is also the most powerful scooter in those 3 by far. The 72 volts just meant that it leapt off the line. In fact, at one point I was riding along and I thought I was in turbo mode, but I wasn't. I was in eco mode. So I thought I was pressing the eco button. So I thought I was in turbo. I thought I was pressing the eco button. I pressed it, and I gave it the juice, and I almost got torn off the scooter. It was so powerful. Like it was such a jolt. It was a pleasant jolt. It was very, very powerful. And all 3 are very smooth power bands. The Dualtron Thunder in particular, I found a little bit more nimble going through corners on small paths, and you can see that in my full-length review. And again, the stem height on the Dualtron is just a little bit low, so if you're 6 foot or higher, I probably would look at one of the others. But if you're 5'10" to 6 foot range, I think it was fine. In fact, I wouldn't even have worried about it, except that when you compare all 3, you notice these things. So lighting, I thought on the Dualtron was good. The Kaabo has 2 beautiful lights at the front, so you're not going to get missed on that. And I'm going to pause it for a second, just make sure I've got all my notes figured out here.
A few moments later.
And the last thing I would mention with the scooters in particular are the range on these. Now, all 3 of these scooters I would have to go and do proper range testing on. Range is going to matter well, it's going to be affected by a number of things. Temperature is going to matter. That's, you know, how cold the battery's getting, how big you are. I'm a big guy. I'm 6 foot and 278 pounds right now, and I'm trying to get down a long way. But, you know, I mentioned that so that you guys have an idea of what it's like. You know, so I'm a big guy flying around on these scooters, and these 3 scooters had no problems moving me around. That big hill that we tried, the 011X, I actually had to turn, like, I had to let go of the gas because it was accelerating up that steep hill, so that was nuts. The Dualtron and the Kaabo were both, they ate up that steep hill without any issue whatsoever. So I think you'd be really happy with either one of those scooters. So let me know if you have any questions about those scooters. Put those down below. Ask them right away, because, you know, all this information's in my brain right now. It's nice and fresh. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I appreciate it very much. We cleared 1,000 subscribers, so I'm really thrilled with that. And I think lots more videos to come, so lots more videos to compare. And if you have ideas of which scooters you think I should go head to head with, I'm thinking next time I'll probably do like a 10X limited versus something. So put down below what you think I should compare it to. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Make sure you wear your helmets. Stay safe.